We are back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on Thursday, October 16th for game number 3 of the National League Championship Series and game number 4 of the American League Championship Series. We will have our 4 best bets, obviously, for these 2 games. And whose bright idea was it to do Brewers-Dodgers at 3 o'clock and then Blue Jays-Mariners at 5:30? You couldn't have spaced it out a little bit better? We couldn't have gone at 3 o'clock, then 6 or 6:30? I mean, you're playing both the games in the Pacific time zone. And yet the Dodgers are going to play at 3 o'clock. Nobody's going to be at that game because Dodger fans are fair weather fans, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't understand that. By the way, you can get tickets to the Dodgers playoff game tomorrow for $60. I just want to put that out there. Anyways, again, 4 best bets, obviously, for these 2 games, folks. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets in the channel. I'm sick and tired of the Blue Jays-Mariners series, and I'll get to that later. But again, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Also on the channel are college football predictions, over 4.5 or about 4.5 hours long of college football week 7 predictions. It's week 8 predictions. It's a lot. Make sure you go check that out. That is linked in the description down below, along with our Week 7 NFL predictions as well. Again, both on the channel. Also, in Greedo Plays MMA this week, multiple videos, our UFC Vancouver predictions. Rainer DeRitter taking on Brendan All-In Allen in the main event from Vancouver, British Columbia, and from Rwanda, our PFL Africa 3 predictions. Make sure to go check out both those videos again on Greedo Plays MMA. Okay, on to the first of our 4 best bets, kicking things off with Brewers-Dodgers. Then we'll close the day, obviously, with the Mariners-Blue Jays. I'll do a random, well, not random, but a bet. Money line is going to come second, and then we're going to have a player prop slash whatever. I'll just say now. 2 player props are going to come before the money lines today. You'll see it. Okay. On to the first of our 4 best bets. Here it is, guys. You know what? With Kike Hernandez, I'm going to stop saying, oh, he's just got voodoo magic. He randomly closes his eyes and he gets a hit, and I'm just going to go straight. I'm just going to be one with the voodoo magic today. We're going Kike Hernandez. I mean, this feels like highway robbery, honestly, the way this guy's been hitting. Guys, Kike Hernandez has played in every single Dodgers postseason game so far this year. He's gotten a hit in every game but one. It was game 2 in Philadelphia. He went 0 for 4. The guy goes 2 for 3 against the Reds in game 1, 2 for 5 in game 2. First game in Philly obviously has the big double that changes the game off of Christopher Sanchez. Then he goes 0 for in game 2. Game 3 against Philadelphia, 1 for 2, walked twice. Game 4, the 11-inning game, 1 for 4 for Hernandez. And so far, both games in Milwaukee, Kike goes gets 2 hits in both games, 2 for 4 in game 1, 2 for 3 in game 2. Why is he only minus 140 to get a hit? That's weird. That doesn't make sense to me. Again, he has been probably, can we say he's been the best hitter for the Dodgers in the postseason so far? Because I know who it's not, Shohei Ohtani. I can tell you he's not their best hitter right now. I would say it's probably Kike, maybe Teoscar. And the negative side, or the downside of picking Kike Hernandez in the spot is that he does bat 8th for the Dodgers, right? Obviously, they're not going to move Hernandez up yet. They like him. Well, I don't think they're ever going to. They like him at the bottom of the lineup. He provides a spark, obviously, before the automatic out that is Andy Pages. And even, no, the automatic out that is Shohei Ohtani, too. More on him in a little bit. But I think Hernandez to get 1 hit should be fine. Now, we do have to solve the equation, who starts for the Milwaukee Brewers today? Because who knows? I mean, again, you pitched Freddie Peralta already, didn't go very well for you. You went opener the other day, and then you throw in Quinn. You lose the game 2-1. Actually, Quinn Priester pitched pretty well, my goodness. I assume it's Mizorowski. It has to be, right? Mizorowski last pitched on Saturday, gave the Brewers 4 really good innings against the Chicago Cubs, only gave up 1 hit. It was a solo home run. I assume Miz is going to be the guy today, but I would not expect to see Mizorowski for more than 5-ish innings. I mean, that's, they've been pitching Mizorowski for a good 4 so far in this postseason, 3 in his first outing against Chicago. They gave him 4 in game 5 against the Cubs. I would assume, again, we probably get 4-ish innings out of Mizorowski again. Not because they don't have confidence in him. Well, no, it is that. But also, you do have just a bullpen with a lot of talent. You had an off day yesterday, obviously traveling from Milwaukee over to Los Angeles. So you have a well-rested bullpen. You do, if you need, have Jose Quintana. I doubt they start Quintana over Mizorowski, or at least, okay. When I mean start for the Brewers, whoever their main pitcher is going to be, because there is a definite possibility and probably a good chance they use an opener, right? They will probably throw, dare they throw Ashby again? They could. They've thrown Ashby in both games so far of the series. I think they might open with Ashby. That might sound crazy, but I think they're going to. Because they opened with him in game 1. He's thrown 1 inning in both games. Day off yesterday. I think they're going to open with Aaron Ashby. Because it's worked before. You throw Ashby out for Ohtani. Obviously, lefty-lefty, that's an automatic out. Well, really, Ohtani versus any pitcher in the league right now is an automatic out. But you throw Ashby against him. You cross your fingers on the Mookie Betts at bat. And then you get either or Teoscar Hernandez or Freddie Freeman, whoever they have betting in the 3 spot, probably Teo. But you're kind of setting that all up for Shohei Ohtani. Even though, again, he's been an automatic out so far in this postseason. So they might start Ashby. They could just go again traditional. They could open with Ashby. They could go traditional starter with a Jose Quintana, with a Jacob Misiorowski. But both of those guys, Miz and Quintana, have been used out of the bullpen. They've been used for, again, 5 or less innings, really 3 innings so far, again, in Quintana and Misiorowski's case. Regardless of that, though, I don't really think it matters who pitches because, guys, I've seen Kike Hernandez get hits against anybody he's faced so far in this playoffs, and it doesn't make sense. It's not like even Hernandez was catching fire before the postseason. He batted 200 in the month of September. In the entire season in 2025, he batted 203. Again, this is Dodgers bullcrap that's going on, but I guess we're just going to go with it today. I mean, again, this is a 379 hitter in the postseason. He has a 972 OPS. Make it make sense. I don't get how he's done this. Guys, in the entire month of September, Kike Hernandez, he played like 20 games. He had 3 doubles. In 8 games in the postseason, Hernandez has already more doubles than he did in the entire month of September. It doesn't make sense at all. He has more hits in the playoffs than he did in the entire month of September. How is this possible? I mean, ultimate playoff riser, sure. I think steroids. This is crap. Obviously, I'm joking a little bit there. Am I? I don't know. No, it's crazy. Hernandez is batting 379 in the postseason. He's got a 455 OPS. Sorry, OBP. OPS is 972. Holy crap. So I'm going to go Hernandez here to get a hit. I don't care who it is. Ashby, Quintana, Misiorowski, or anybody out the bullpen. Hell, it can be Trevor McGill. I think Hernandez is going to find a way to get a hit. And sure, again, this is a little more difficult than it was in Philadelphia for him and in Milwaukee. Why? Chance the Dodgers only get 8 at-bats. He's obviously batting in the 8 spot. I don't care. I'm going to go Kike Hernandez here. I've learned too many times to say, oh, this is just, voodoo. Well, it keeps on working. So I'm going to go Kike Hernandez to get 1 hit today in game number 3 of the NLCS. Minus 140 for Hernandez. I think it's an absolutely discounted line considering how he's played so far in the playoffs. So give me Hernandez to get 1 hit today at minus 140. Next up, we go to our second best bet of the game, or of this game and of the video. I'm going to go Brewers plus 1.5. Okay, I'm not telling you that the Brewers are going to win the game outright because I can't say with a straight face, I cannot tell you they're going to win outright. Now, tomorrow when Ohtani pitches, now we're talking, okay? I think this is going at least 5. From there, I don't know. Okay, will this go 6? I don't know. I think this game's going to be close today. I'm not guaranteeing a Brewers victory. I'm not saying the Brewers are going to win. I think the game's going to be closer than you expect it to be. The Dodgers, they throw Snell in game 1. You throw Yoshi in game number 2. How will Tyler Glasnow fare here in game 3? Now, I know he was phenomenal in the 2 outings he had against Philadelphia. Game 1 out of the bullpen, he was really good, got 5 outs, did walk 2 guys, but, only gave up 2 hits and 0 runs allowed. And then against the Philadelphia Phillies in game 4 of the NLDS, they go to Glasnow to try to put away Philadelphia. He goes 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs. Again, Philadelphia cannot do anything against Tyler Glasnow. They got going as soon as Glasnow exited the game, obviously with the Castellanos double, but again, no damage was done on Tyler Glasnow. I don't know. I have a feeling there's a little bit of regression coming, just because, again, Glasnow's good, but eventually he's going to give up something. Eventually the Brewers going to break through, I would think, right? And I'm going to kind of use what happened yesterday in Seattle. Blue Jays look horrible for the first 18 innings of baseball they play in the ALCS. And, well, no, you can say 20 innings of baseball they play in the ALCS. What happens? They break through after that. They're down 2-0. Guys, again, more on that game in a second. As soon as Julio Rodriguez hit the home run yesterday, I was like, all right, the Mariners are going to the World Series. I have a very good friend who's a Seattle Mariners fan, and I texted him, oh my goodness, the Mariners, there's an expletive in there, but the Mariners are going to the World Series. Nope. More on that in a second, right? But if you look at that and what Toronto did once they got away from their home ballpark, again, I don't know if the same thing can be said about Milwaukee, because this is a team that went 3-0 in Milwaukee in the NLDS and 0-2 away from Milwaukee, obviously at Wrigley Field against the Chicago Cubs. However, maybe just getting out of that environment is going to help them. I don't know. And the thing that I just said with Toronto, which, I did bring this up yesterday, the Blue Jays eventually are going to have to come through, but I was sick and tired of relying on when the Blue Jays are going to come back, when the Blue Jays are going to become the regular season team we had watched all year long. So that's why I still took Seattle, and that series is pissing me off. But the same thing can kind of be applied here with the Brewers. And we don't even need them to win this game. So Brewers plus 1.5, I believe is at minus 125. That's very playable. Again, money line odds, you got plus 165 for Milwaukee. You got the Dodgers coming back at you at minus 195. Again, I just wouldn't play those. I mean, if anything, I'd take Brewers plus 165. But you're really, yes, again, you're picking the Brewers, but you're kind of just hoping the Brewers can pull it off at that point. Plus 1.5 gives us a lot of leg room here, honestly, because again, you're taking a plus 1.5 of the team on the road. Dodgers potentially only get 8 at-bats, which, the Brewers just need to keep pace in this game. They just need to be competitive. I don't know who's going to pitch. Again, I think we're going to see a mixture of I think we're going to see Ashby. I know we're going to see, actually, I don't know who we're going to see, either Quintana or Mizorowski. I assume they go Miz, because who's pitching game 4 for you? Do you go straight bullpen game, or do you start a guy like Quintana, or at least, again, have Quintana be your starter? I know the Brewers, again, they go opener all the time, but you need one guy to at least get you 3 or 4 innings. I assume in game 4 that's going to be Jose Quintana. I assume today that's going to be Jacob Mizorowski. Miz has actually pitched very well, again, through one mistake pitch in Game 5 of the NLCS against the Cubs. Other than that, Mizorowski was very good, and I get it, this is a very good Dodgers lineup. But again, don't forget the Brewers were 6-0 against the Dodgers in the regular season. And obviously, right, Dodgers win back-to-back games. Game 1, very competitive, right? I mean, Bryce Churang, doesn't move out the way of a pitch. That game goes into extras, or maybe the Brewers just outright win it. Game 2 wasn't a competition because of how well Yoshinobu Yamamoto has pitched, or did pitch in that game. And I think eventually you're going to see a starter for the Dodgers not pitch lights out. Eventually, right? Well, if anything, that's going to be game 4 tomorrow at Shohei Ohtani. But it's going to be hard for Glasnow to replicate or just follow the starting efforts out of game 1, Blake Snell, out of game 2, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto obviously gives up the solo home run, the leadoff home run to Jackson Chourio to kick that game off. After that, dude completely locks in and throws, 100 pitches in 9 innings. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Brewers had, 2 hits the entire game, 3 hits the entire game. It was a joke. Milwaukee has struggled so much against Dodgers starting pitching, and the point I will continue to make throughout this series, if you can just get the Dodgers in their bullpen, especially after they almost cracked, they did crack Sasaki, almost. They almost won that game 1 against Sasaki, right, when Roki comes in for the 9th inning. Once you take away the fear of Roki Sasaki, who's supposed to be their savior out of the bullpen this year, at least in the postseason, and I know, again, Blake Treinen did finish off Churang in the bottom of the 9th, but you're not scared of Blake Treinen. I don't think the Brewers are honestly scared of Sasaki after game number 1. You just need to get to this bullpen. And I get it. It should be on paper. Is it more difficult to play at Los Angeles than it is at home in Milwaukee? Sure. But you just need to find a way to get game number 3 here. And you got to find a way to get it to that pen. Even when Glasnow was pitching lights out in game 4, it was an elimination game for the Phillies. And it was a big spot for the Dodgers, obviously, way more high leverage than this one is. Glasnow got pulled after 83 pitches in 6 innings. If the Brewers can get, again, you'd hope Glasnow's out of this game before 6 innings. But even if you get 3 innings of the Dodgers pen, you're in this game. And at least if it's close, with hopefully Mizorowski, finishing it, or just keeping his end of the bargain, I guess, on the other side of the ball. Because again, look at game 4 of the NLDS. Glasnow gets pulled. What happens immediately? Phillies score. Now again, that was the only run the Phillies scored in the entire game, but there was a moment where Phillies are up 1-0. Oh no, we might go back to the bank for a winner-take-all game 5 where Ohtani would have pitched. Whatever. I'm gonna go Brewers plus 1.5. I do not forget how good this lineup has been. They just need to tap into that potential a little bit here. And the Dodgers, again, Ohtani's just been horrible. The media wants you to think Ohtani's the best player in the world. I don't know about that. I don't know. Oh, he had 1 hit in game 2. The guy's batting 147 in the postseason. Unbelievable stuff. The only reason this is getting buried is because the Dodgers are winning, which should show you how he is valuable for his team, but at the same time, they don't need Ohtani to be great to win, which is just an absolute joke. He's got a 590 OPS in the postseason, and yet his team is still the massive favorites to win the World Series. I mean, you know what? This is why baseball is gonna. This is why we're going to a lockout in 2 years. This is why. It's just, oh my god, unbelievable. Let's go on to the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Yeah, we're gonna start things off with Hear me out, guys. Max Scherzer over 3.5 Ks is actually very doable. Even in the starts where Max Scherzer gets shelled, he does get strikeouts still. He does. Now, the last time Scherzer pitched against the Reds, just in general, was against the Red Sox. 5 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs. He had 5 Ks in that start. I am oddly optimistic about Max here. Why? It's because I watched Game 3. I know for the longest time I was, talking about Max Scherzer like he was a liability, like, Toronto's just got to find a way to, get past the Scherzer game. I watched what the Mariners did yesterday, and this is what I'm going to tell you. I think they're choking. Rodriguez hit the home run in the first inning off of Shane Bieber. They're up 2-0. You have your best pitcher on the mound, the same guy you went to in Game 5 of the ALDS to lock it down against the Detroit Tigers. George Kirby was excellent in Game 5 of the ALDS. You have him on the mound with a 2-run lead. Julio gets the crowd going with the 2-run bomb in the first inning, and you choke. I mean, you let the Toronto Blue Jays score 12 consecutive runs after the first inning 2-run home run by Julio Rodriguez. You had it. And the Mariners, after the Rodriguez home run, and you can say what you want about the pitching. Was it horrible? Yes. Why was George Kirby still out there in the 4th inning pitching to in the 5th inning pitching to Vladimir Guerrero? I don't know. I know they were already down 6-2 at that point, but I mean, you might as well tell us you're throwing in the towel at that point. The Mariners lineup post first inning reverted back into what the Mariners were in the first half of the regular season. And sure, that was before they got Naylor, before they got Suarez, but my goodness, they could not hit anything post that first inning. And again, Arozarena hits the garbage time home run. Cal Raleigh hits the garbage time home run to cut the lead down to 13-4, I guess 12-4, before Addison Barger hit a home run in the top of the 9th inning. You get what I mean here, though, right? They were non-existent early in that game, and I'm very concerned for them. And now, you give Max Scherzer some confidence. You do. I know Scherzer, again, was horrible in the regular season this year. This will be his first start in the postseason since he was a Texas Ranger. It was, Game 3 of the ALCS? He started a game of the World Series, didn't he? He started Game 3 of the World Series in Arizona before he got injured. And then John Gray came in, I believe. Regardless, right, you give Mad Max a little bit of momentum now. I know he's been very bad this season. We've talked about him recently like he's a liability because of just how bad his September was. Against the Yankees on the road, 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks. Orioles, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. That's a pretty good start. By the way, still 8 strikeouts in that Yankee start, 5 strikeouts in the Orioles start. Kansas City in KC, maybe the worst start, probably the worst start of Max Scherzer's career. 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 Ks. Again, the only 2 outs Max Scherzer gets in that game are strikeouts. And then last start of the regular season at home against Boston, 5 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, 5 Ks. Again, Scherzer still goes over 3.5. And don't forget, Max Scherzer was not on the Blue Jays wildcard roster, ALDS roster. They do put him on the ALCS roster, though, alongside Chris Bassett. But yeah, I'm going to take my chances with Max Scherzer over Chris Bassett personally. Okay, I'd much rather Scherzer start than Bassett. I get it, Bassett's ERA was better in the regular season. No, you want the future Hall of Famer pitching over Bassett here. So I'm not even going to try to sell you entirely on Scherzer right now. What I'm going to try to sell you on is the fact that I believe the Mariners are choking. And I believe the Seattle Mariners are not ready right now. They're not ready for prime time. You're 2 games away from the World Series, and now you get a future Hall of Famer pitching, who I get it has not been very good, but look at the way they hit yesterday after the first inning. I mean, they were already planning the parade in Seattle after Julio hit the home run. Now look at them. Toronto wins today. It's a 3-game series. It's a 3-game series if Toronto wins today, and 2 of those games are in Toronto, of the remaining 3. I thought the Blue Jays were in huge trouble. I don't know if I can say that anymore. The hangover's done. The Vladimir Guerrero Yankees hangover that he had in New York, the party time over in the Bronx, it's over. And again, more on the official prediction and money line in a second. But I think the strikeouts are going to be free here for Scherzer. Guys, a lot of these Mariners bats, they hit the ball very hard, they hit it very far, but a lot of them strike out. Randy, Raleigh, Julio, Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, Victor Robles. All 6 of those guys struck out last game. J.P. Crawford, if you want another. 7 guys up and down the lineup for Seattle struck out yesterday. The only 2 that did not, Jorge Polanco and Dom Canzone. Oh, Canzone struck out too. No, they all struck out other than Polanco. Yeah, again, there's 8 strikeout candidates on this roster. 8 of them. Max is going to find 4. Even if Scherzer gets pulled early, again, the games in which he got pulled early, 4 innings, 5 innings, yeah, he still gets the strikeouts. Max still averages a strikeout an inning. We need him to go 4. I mean, that should be fine. I don't know how I'll tell you in a second how I think this game's going to go, but I don't think it's going to go like this. But if it does, if Max gets bombed on early, again, and I know for the longest time I've been saying Scherzer's going to get dismantled in the postseason and in the series. I don't think so anymore because I watched Game 3. Okay, and day after, you let that one slip very early. I have no more confidence in the Seattle Mariners. What I'm getting to, though, is even if Max gets pulled, there's a chance Max gets bombed early. They're not going to pull him right away, though. I mean, we did mention, too, like, this might be a throwaway game for them. Because if you just get Game 3, then 4 is kind of a throwaway, and then you get ready for trying to have to win 3 in a row. Again, that's a very rare possibility, or just a scenario I don't think is going to happen. But I don't think the leash is going to be extremely short on Max here because it's not an elimination game. And if Max gets bombed on early, Toronto's going to look at this and say, all right, we have to save our pen a little bit because now we need to really get ready for another game tomorrow and we got to win 3 in a row. They're not going to burn any, big time pitchers in a blowout. And again, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, I think Max is going to stay in the game. So over 3.5 strikeouts, I think is fine here for Max Scherzer. Minus 135, I believe he should hit. This leads me to plus 120 for the Toronto Blue Jays. Yep. This series has been the most annoying to predict. First 2 games, we take Toronto. Offense lays an egg. And then I'm like, all right, well, you're going back to Seattle. You're just done. Your team kind of sucks. All right, let's take the Mariners, and the Blue Jays absolutely erupt for 13 runs. 18 hits in Game 3 of the ALCS. Are we serious? We had Vladimir Guerrero over 1.5 total bags in back-to-back games, and I laid off it for Game 3. I was like, you know what? Kirby's pitching, don't love it. Vladimir Guerrero goes 4 for 4 yesterday, and a triple shy of the cycle. The dude had 9 total bags, and I laid off it because I was like, you know what? It's in Seattle. It's hard to hit in Seattle. Marine layer and whatnot. Nope. Doesn't affect the Blue Jays. Okay, well, we found a team that could hit in Seattle, and I know there's a team that plays in Seattle that doesn't hit in Seattle. Give me the team on the road. Oh, Max Scherzer. Yes, I've been the biggest watch out for Max Scherzer guy, and, you can probably find, because I love Max, and it pains me to watch him struggle sometimes in the major leagues. I think he's going to see a lot of success today. You give Max Scherzer some confidence now, a guy who hasn't pitched in 3.5 weeks, at least in a live situation. But you put Max Scherzer in a spot like this after he watched your lineup struggle post first inning yesterday, I'm going to take Max Scherzer to rise to the occasion. Because that's just what he does. That's the type of player he is. Luis Castillo today, going for the Seattle Mariners. Castillo 3.54 ERA, started in Game 2 of the ALDS against the Tigers. Must-win game, obviously, for Seattle. Castillo, though, only goes 4 and 2/3. That was against Tarek Skubal. Castillo gets relieved, obviously, in the 5th. Mariners win that game 3-2. Again, Castillo pitched well, gave up 1 hit, did walk 4 guys. It's just, man, when Toronto gets hot, which they are now, they are difficult to beat. And this is what I thought we were going to get in Toronto. Again, when this team faced off against Bryce Miller in Game 1 of the ALCS, I was like, all right, automatic. We're good. They're going to absolutely dismantle Bryce Miller. But no. They decided not to. What they did to George Kirby is what we've been waiting for them to do all series. Maybe not, especially against Logan Gilbert, but I thought they were going to see a little more success against Gilbert than they actually did. But I mean, Springer 3 for 6, Guerrero 4 for 4, Kirk 2 for 4, Jimenez is the one to break through at the home run. Of all people, Andres Jimenez breaks through at the home run in the top of the third inning to get things going. Ernie Clement 2 for 5. When they hit like this, nobody beats this team. Nobody does. It's a matter of if. I look at the Mariners and they go through their really bad stretches. What they did in Toronto, I mean, they look unbeatable. But the Mariners do this a lot, and again, watching them throughout the course of the regular season and into the playoffs, they go through their stretches where they are great, and then they are absolutely awful. Game 3 was a game that they were absolutely awful in, and I think that carries into game number 4. And I get it. Scherzer serves up meatballs now sometimes. He's still got good movement. You know, he can strike you out still. And with a struggling Mariners lineup, I'm going to side with the future Hall of Famer. There's just so many low average guys still in this Mariners lineup, at least low average guys in the postseason. I mean, Randy Arozarena hits the home run late. Again, Chris Paul cuts the lead to 28. But Arozarena is batting 176 in the postseason. Raleigh's been great, don't get me wrong. Julio's been really good, but that was the problem that the Mariners had early against the Tigers. Raleigh's contributing, Rodriguez is, and Polanco. The rest of the lineup is non-existent. Eugenio Suarez has been non-existent in this postseason. Dom Canzone has been non-existent in the playoffs. Victor Robles, who I love, non-existent in the playoffs. JP Crawford's really not going to do anything too noticeable, at least offensively. That's almost half your lineup that you're looking at and like, these guys aren't going to really do anything. They're not going to do anything at the plate. I hate that. I mean, if I'm relying on you to go to the World Series, you're at home and you lay an egg in game 3, and I know 4 out the 9 guys in the lineup are not going to do anything of note. Like, Suarez is an automatic out. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Like, I don't know what happened to this dude. He went back to Seattle, and he's been awful. He hit 49 home runs in the regular season, sure. But, I mean, didn't hit that many as a Mariner. A lot of those home runs, yeah, those are as a D-back. He got worse once he got traded. And call it Marine Layer or whatnot, I don't care. I'm just telling you, there's too many auto outs in this lineup. Hell, Rosarena is kind of an auto out, too. I mean, that's 5 guys in the lineup that I can stare at and say, don't love your swing. I'm going Blue Jays here. I'm going Blue Jays in a shootout. But I'll tell you right now who's more equipped to win a shootout in Seattle. It's the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have scored at T-Mobile Park. Yeah, the Mariners scored in Toronto, but this has been a thing for a while for the Mariners. They struggle to score at home. Again, it's the Marine Layer. It's hard to hit the ball out. No trouble for Toronto in Game 3. That's the Toronto we saw early in the Yankee series. In Toronto, that's the Blue Jays team that we've already seen in the regular season. If they hit like this, they're not losing again in the ALCS. And I'm telling you, I believe the Mariners are in deep trouble here. They sold game number 3 after, again, you get the biggest momentum booster you can possibly get, a first inning 2-run home run, and you don't score again essentially until the 8th inning. I'm going Toronto. I think the Mariners have let this one slip, and I think they've let the ALCS slip. I think the Blue Jays are winning the pennant. I think they are. I mean, Toronto Blue Jays money line tonight. Yes, I'm taking Max Scherzer at 41. He's still going to do something. A plus 120 for the Toronto Blue Jays to win on the road in Seattle against the Mariners. Folks, thank you all for watching our MLB postseason best bets here for October 16th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.